Hi everyone, this is Borwen here. So today I have a very interesting question that I just want to ask you guys. So assuming today you have a lump sum of money, okay, and you want to grow this sum of money, what would you do? Will you invest this money in a small F&B business, or would you actually put this business and grow it in the stock market? So the key question for today is business versus investing. Which one would you go for? Right, so today I just wanted to share a little bit about my own personal experience being in the business world as well as in the stock market. So a lot of people know me as an investor that I've been in the stock market for quite a number of years. But one thing that a lot of people do not know is actually last year, okay, I actually went into the business world, and at one point of time I was actually owning 5 boat noodle restaurants in Singapore together with a group of other investors. So that is my personal business story. Okay, and I actually started out with only one outlet, then 2 outlet, 3 outlet, 4 outlet, and 5 outlet, and all that. I think it was done within a year. So it was a crazy, it was quite a crazy journey. Okay, for my business. Okay, so it went up really fast. Okay, but at the same time, it came down really fast as well. Okay, I'm not going to go in depth into what happened. Okay, but based on my small experience going into the business world and my experience in the stock market. So this is my personal take on the business world as well as the investment world. So let's start with the first one. Okay, let's compare these two. Let's talk about capital. Okay, I'm gonna give you one illustration. So one of the outlet of my boat noodle is actually at East Point. The whole capital outlay to get it started from scratch is in the range of about 300 to 350,000. So if you actually go into a business like this with 3 to 4 investors, so you will actually require about easily 50 to 100,000 each. So that is relatively huge capital. But if you manage to find a big group of investors, then you might be able to go down to about 5,000 to 10,000 investment per investor. Alright, so that is roughly how much you need in order for you to go into the restaurant business. So now let's talk about how much capital do you need in order for you to start investing in the stock market, and the answer is $100. So comparing the stock and the business, okay, investment requires much lesser capital to get started. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the returns that you're going to expect from business as well as the stock market. So in the business world, okay, in my current context of a restaurant business, I'm actually looking at a break-even of 2 years, which means that 1 year I want to make 50% from my business. So that is roughly the gauge, about 50%. So some restaurants, they are able to break even within 1 year. So their returns is about 100%. And there are many businesses that break even in 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. So of course, the more years that you take to break even, the lesser will be your real returns. And coming to the stock market, how much returns are we looking at? Okay, conservatively, I would say that generating 10 to 30% every single year is good enough. Okay, 10 to 30%. So on average, conservatively, I think you will be able to generate about 10 to 30% from the stock market as a retail investor. So that will be roughly the returns. So a business does give you the potential to make more returns, and later on we will touch on the risk itself. So now, being a business owner sounds really cool, and now let's dive into what are some of the skill set that you need to actually start your own business. In order for you to actually get started in the restaurant business, okay, so some of the key things that you actually need to know is, number one, you need to know how to look for a good location. And secondly, you must know where to look for all the ingredients that you need to open a restaurant. And of course, the third one that you need is manpower. Where are you going to get all this manpower that you need? And the fourth one is actually the system. So every business needs to have a certain system, and you as a business owner, you need to be there to create this system. So you must create a system. And of course, the last one is you need to have the skill set to be able to handle emergency. What do I mean by this? What happened if one of your staff decided that, hey, I'm not going to work anymore? And what happened if the aircon suddenly just break down? And what happened if there's no customer? What happened if there's a break-in? So you see, in a real business, you as a business owner, you need to actually go in and handle all this emergency that you might or might not actually know. So that is something that as a business owner, you need to have this particular skill set. Now, coming to investment, okay, what are some of the skill set that you need as an investor? There's only two. There's only two of them. The first one is you need to have a system to invest. Okay, you need to have a proper investment system. And the second thing that you need is the discipline. Okay, so this is the two key elements to be an investor: system and discipline. Right, so looking at what I have just mentioned before, now we talk about the risk aspect of business versus investing. Okay, so my personal take is business as of now has much higher risk. Reason being, it has a higher capital outlay, and secondly, for you to start a business, you need to have more skill set. All right, so more capital, more skill set equal more risk. That is my personal take. Okay, so right now I'm going to talk about a summary. Okay, some of the pros and cons of the business as well as the pros and cons of the investment. So let's start with the business first. Okay, so if you ask me what is the pros of the business is, so now starting with the pros of the business. Okay, so I would definitely say that running a business is a lot more fun than investing. So more fun, okay, that's definitely number one. And secondly, a business is more tangible. So if you were to own a cafe, you get to touch it, you get to feel it, you get to be there, you get to mix with your customer. So it is actually much more tangible. And of course, for the last one, the last pros for business, I would say, is the dynamic. So for people who love challenges, for people who love to do different things, for people who like to try new things, okay, so the business might be something that is more exciting for you. So if you are young, you want to try more things, you want to explore more, you want to challenge yourself, so business might be something that is good for you. But if you are a retired 50 years old, 60 years old, would you want to go into the business? Probably not. And now let's talk about the con of the business. Okay, so three cons. The first one is, number one, business is a lot more time consuming. You need to be there to look at the business. Secondly, business is less liquid. Okay, so if you need any cash flow from the business, it's not that easy to actually generate cash flow from your business. And of course, for the last one, setting up a business requires more capital. So if you are somebody who just started with limited capital, business might not be suitable for you. So that's my personal take, for the business. Okay, so now let's talk about the pros and cons of investment. Okay, and let me start with the pros first. Investing requires less capital. Okay, so that to me is one good thing. Secondly, we talk about passive income. So if you ask me which one is passive, investing is definitely a lot more passive because you don't have to be there, you don't have to exchange your time for it. So basically all you need to do is just click a few buttons and wait for the money to come to your account. And coming to the last pro that I have, okay, I personally find that investment does generate return much faster than business. Alright, so business, you need to break even, but investment, pretty much you buy, the price went up, you make money, that's it. You can see profit within days, or sometimes even within hours, but we're not going to do that, okay? So within days. And now, what is the con of investing? I would just say one thing: less fun. Investing is just less fun than business. So if you want to have more fun, if you have money, then go for business. If you want something that is lesser capital, more liquid, more passive income, then be like me, be an investor. So now we go to the final. So the magic question over here. So Borwen, if you are given a choice again to be a business owner or to start investment once again, which one would I go for? My answer would actually be investing still. Okay, so I would actually still choose to start with investment, but I personally agree that starting a business does give me a lot of sense of achievement. So once you reach a certain level, once you have certain amount of cash and capital uh, and time, and you wanted to find something to do, then go and start your own business. Alright, so that's my personal take. And now I want to hear from you guys as well. What do you think? If you have a lump sum of money, so money not an issue, which one would be your preferred choice, business or investing? Okay, please put it into the comments below, and I hope to hear from everyone else. And that's it for my video today. So once again, invest safely, stay safe everyone, and I'll see you in the next video.